Welcome in, Ish NBA family. We are live once again for a Lakers postgame. The Lakers beat the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas tonight, and Luka Doncic's homecoming was insane. 45 points. The Lakers clearly knew it was emotional. They played the video. I'm sure we all saw it. I posted it on my story as well. Absolutely crazy that Luka Doncic is a Laker. It's hard to process more today than other days because um, you saw AD as a Maverick in Dallas as opposed to on the bench in Los Angeles when they first saw him. Max Christie, we kind of processed that already. We've been so locked into the Luka season, but it was emotional. It was a homecoming for the dreams. It was great for the Lakers. They win the game. They needed to win this game. They have a much better chance of reaching the 3 seed now. That's very helpful for them. Um, and Dallas clearly is a team that's missing a point guard in Kyrie Irving, and they'll have their pick this year, which will probably be 14, 15, 16 range. They need another wing, maybe another guard. Honestly, like a better guard than Dinwiddie, Hardy, who's been injured. Exum was supposed to play but didn't ultimately. Brandon Williams didn't play. I think he's out of 2 days. But they were started with Najee Marshall at the point, Clay at the 2, PJ at the 3, AD at the 4, and Lively at the 5. And the Lakers just went after Lively, especially Luka, to the rim. By him, hit some crazy threes as well. He was pure. I believe here it shows, yes, 7 of 10 in the quarter, I believe. 6 of 9 from the free throw line. That was pretty much the only place he was bad. 16 of 28 in the entire game. He was absurd. That's like 60-something percent or 57%. Yes, sir, Pete. Welcome. Welcome everyone in that's joining. And on TikTok and YouTube, we're at Ishan Ghosh 824. LeBron played the second best on the Lakers today after missing some pretty easy like mid-range shots over Dinwiddie and Clay in the first half. But then they realized that they could just go at AD and Lively in the paint because they kind of know the tendencies. They fronted AD so well on defense. They barely let him touch the ball. So it's all Najee Marshall really, and some Caleb Martin. But the game was easy, but it was so emotional. It was so emotional. That's the reason it was close for 2.5, 3 quarters, was because Luka just kind of, after the first couple possessions, started to go off. And then once he started to go off, it was like, okay, let's watch Luka go off in Dallas. It's pretty entertaining. The Dallas Mavericks fans were rooting for Luka. It was a Laker home game, but in Dallas. Mark Cuban was there. Mahomes was there. Dirk and Taylor Rooks were there. Oh, the Heat be losing. They just be losing, bro. I know they want that pick, plus the Warriors pick that they have. It was crazy because Luka gets ejected yesterday in a game that the Lakers could have won with him healthy, with 7:47 to go. They actually rescinded the technical today, bogus technical, completely bogus, and the Lakers could have been on a 3-game winning streak here today. Beating OKC twice if possible, but they didn't even get the shot to do it because of the bogus technical. Ultimately, you would think a game like that goes down almost to the wire, then the Lakers got to sit guys out for the last 2 minutes because OKC went on their classic 20-point run at the end of the game. But they got some rest, and it was pretty much all on Luka today. And then Rui hit some nice shots. Dorian was on and off. I didn't like his shooting. But he played decent defense. I didn't like his defense on Najee Marshall, but his defense on AD was great, along with LeBron, along with Rui. At Jackson, they played physical on AD. They pretty much knew exactly how to guard him, and that really helped the Lakers tonight because AD didn't get off. And if AD goes off, then it would be completely different. Luka was locked in on defense too. I was pretty shocked about that, but not really because it's a highly motivated game. Former team, you want to prove everyone wrong, and he did. But this game will be very fascinating next year when Kyrie is back and the Mavericks draft pick is in. Maybe they make another trade. Maybe they somehow acquire KD if they want to give up on Gafford, PJ, the first, maybe even Clay. But I don't know if Clay's positive value these days. But they could look to acquire Cody Martin and reunite him with Caleb in a Suns deal if they get Kevin Durant. So that would be important for them is to acquire wing depth and another guard that can score. But ultimately, you're seeing the Lakers can beat teams, the good and bad. It's just a matter of what type of team you're going to get. Saw a lot of ISOs that today. It was a really slow paced game. Didn't love the style of play. I don't think anyone really did besides Luka's like amazing gameplay. He was awesome, and it was great to watch. But if we're talking about style of play, and if the Lakers can go to the finals this season, they're going to need to move the ball more. They always play so well after Luka goes off, and then he gets blitzed at the top of the key, and then Reeves and LeBron get to play 4-on-3 with either Rui, Gabe, Goodwin, Connect, DFS, Hayes, and it's really good to see that they did that ultimately in the second half, but you can't always just go to that because Luka's going off. You also need to have a semblance of an offense in the first half. I'll be interested to see what happens in Houston. Houston locked up the 2 seed. They rested a lot of guys tonight against the Clippers, or are resting them currently. Um, and it's going to be completely interesting to see if they all play. And even if they do, I like the matchup for the Lakers. They're stronger on the guard positions, and Amen can't guard all three of Reeves, Luka, and LeBron. So you'll see Tari Eason play a lot of minutes. I'm sure Dylan Brooks, but those guys can't really stop LeBron or Reeves as the second and third guys. But they did take 2 20-point performances from Dorian and Gabe at home last week for the Lakers to beat the Rockets, because the Rockets didn't really get out to shoot as well, and the Lakers drove and kicked a lot. And that game's going to matter for the Lakers, not really for the Rockets at all. They have the 2 seed locked up. The Lakers don't have the 3 seed locked up, but they have a playoff spot locked up. All they have to do is beat um, one of Houston or Portland, and that's very possible. Portland, they'll go hard, but they're the inferior team. They're smaller. You can take advantage of them, and I assume the Lakers will. But if the Lakers go out there and beat Houston, and then the team under them at 4 loses and 5 loses, um, along with 6, because all these teams have 32 losses, they may be able to rest guys in Portland. I think that would be the ideal scenario. I think it would be more ideal if they won yesterday, so then they could just rest guys in Portland no matter what, because Houston is guaranteed the 2 seed even with a win out by the Lakers. And then is when it's going to get great. Playoff basketball is going to be amazing with this team, because these ISOs that get frustrating. Yeah, 100% Dylan. If they do get that one more win, then I think you are right. I think they will be okay, because I also would argue that rest for Luka, LeBron, Reeves has been negative this season, because they come back in the next 2 games. They looked really off and not very not very connected, and it took them a couple games to get their rhythm back. So maybe there's rhythm players. Maybe you play them in the first half, try and get up by a lot. But the Lakers don't tend to do that because they play such heavy ISO ball in the beginning. But I do want to see the Lakers go hard in Houston, and then whatever happens in Portland happens. But the playoffs are going to be where it gets interesting, because Luka, LeBron, and Reeves feel unstoppable in the West. Even with Dort, Cason Wallace, Caruso, and all those guys, with OKC, they have shown moments where they can dominate them, and then other moments where they can get rattled by the pressure. But that was without Luka. Luka can handle that Dort pressure because he's faced it before and he knows what to do against it. You might lose some games against OKC in a series. You might even lose the series. But I still feel confident in a matchup where it's Lakers Thunder, Lakers anybody in the West right now, just because of the talent and the synergy amongst these three. It's growing. I think it could be even better, but I think Austin and LeBron have such good chemistry that they've been there before now. And the Lakers were able to guard a 2 big front today, and they were able to guard a 2 big front yesterday and against OKC and on Sunday. So they have no issue guarding bigs. It just comes down to quick guards, and if they get stopped, because if they get stopped, then all bets are off. That's why the Boston game was so intriguing, because Jaylen Brown put the beating on Luka that game, even though Luka gave the Celtics like 33, 35 points. But ultimately, those defensive fronts that you saw in Boston can be neutralized if if you have all three of the big three, and one of Dorian will normally finish, and then Rui or Vando, um, or something like Gabe finish games. And Hayes has actually given to the Celtics problems before. If your two role players are playing well, along with those three doing their like just giving you your season averages, you have a chance. You have a chance. I'm not saying they're going to win or they could even beat Boston right now, but I think they have a good chance. They beat them with AD, obviously, and that was heavy on size. Pods is doing really well. I don't know about right now. I can check, but Pods is playing really well for the Warriors. I think the Warriors are honestly a better threat than pretty much every team in the West, not named OKC, but just because of their experience and what kind of extra um, factor they can bring in their shooting. And they've added some toughness with Jimmy Butler. Boston rested a lot of people today and they lost by 20 to Orlando. It does not matter because, they got the playoffs coming up, and Orlando, that's a big win for them. They need to up their seeding as quickly as possible. 0 points from KCP. Let's check this Warriors. The Warriors are down 5 on the Spurs right now. Chris Paul is 3 of 3 from the field, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Stephon Castle 3 of 8, 7 points, 3 rebounds. Oh, good Biyombo game with 5 boards. Harrison Barnes 9 points. The role players are playing well for Sac. I mean, not for Sac, for San Antonio. Pods, of course, 1 of 6 today. Not 8 of 10 from the 3-point line, magically. Yes, still salty about that. But Kuminga's playing well. Curry's playing well. Jimmy's playing well. I think if Moody and Pods can just get their shots together, or if this is a game where Kuminga finishes it, Heald is also 1 of 5. You might need to go deeper into your bench to get away from the colder guys. But if a couple of those guys can hit some shots, then the Warriors should win this game. Pods has 3 points. I'm sorry, Pineapple Mans. But yeah, today feels like a self-explanatory game with the Lakers game. Let's look at the stats real quick. I just tried to enjoy the emotions of all this. We saw the Luka crying. We saw, how emotional it was, and his post-game press conference was really good. But I think closure is going to be hard for him to achieve, but he's able to move on, which is really helpful. There's such a big playoff push ahead of him that he won't be able to stew on this too long. So Luka goes with 45, 6 assists, 4 steals. He was reading the passing lanes really well, fronting AD really well. I liked his activity defensively in the mid post. And he did have a couple moments, but with Luka Doncic, if he's getting you a few stops and he's getting you 4 steals, getting you possession 4 times, that's really valuable. And I was very happy with his effort today. Reeves only gave you 11. That was he was kind of quiet because it wasn't really a Reeves game. There was a lot of size out there. He only shot 10 shots, and 2 of them were pretty late. That didn't really matter, and should have gone in, honestly. But he had a chill game in 38 minutes. But LeBron goes for 27, 7 and 3, 1 steal, plus 18. Rui was a plus 21, 5 of 10, 3 of 7 from 3. You can't leave Rui wide open so often. He burns teams, and we saw that against Memphis and Golden State a couple years ago in the playoffs. And you see how the Lakers play without him, even yesterday. But Dorian, plus 29. I hated his shooting tonight, but his defense on AD and help with those guys and steals and helping Luka get some steals, his chemistry with Luka matters a lot out there. It helps Luka be Luka, and I think his value doesn't go unnoticed. It was a bad Gabe game for sure. 1 of 5, 0 of 3 from 3, minus 16. You saw good minutes from Goodwin and nice offensive rebound. Vando played decent, but he was a minus 9. And then it was garbage minutes at the end for Dalton, Trey, and Bronny. And yeah, no Shake or Len or Markieff tonight. And Jackson Hayes has been playing increasingly less minutes, I guess decreasingly less minutes. 13 minutes tonight, 3 points. And he played well, 2 steals, 5 rebounds. It's just when the Lakers go small and they have Dorian, Rui, and LeBron all out there with Austin and Luka, it's just too much wing size, and you can pretty much switch a lot. And it's not even that you need to switch a lot because that's worse for them. It's their zone. And their zone is really good, especially against a team with no point guard. It really confused them. Dinwiddie's not a high-level passer by any stretch of the imagination. So they're able to take advantage of that. AD also, we've seen AD throw the ball out of bounds plenty of times as Lakers fans. So we have definitely been aware of the tendencies with Anthony Davis and how you can make him struggle. And the Lakers clearly knew what to do against him. And that was really important for the win. That was honestly the key because you see PJ goes for 14 on 12 shots. AD goes for 13 on 13 shots. So it didn't really get enough touches. Najee Marshall was their best player at 9 of 14. Clay, 2 of 8, the 2 of 7 from 3. That's not going to work. Christie, 5 of 8 from the field. I liked his patience in the mid range. He was 1 of 4 from 3. Not terrible, but his mid range shot looked good, and his defense and his activity was good. Had a nice block on Vando after getting a little crossed over by Austin Reeves. Caleb Martin had a good game. I mean, it felt like he had 15, but he had 9. And then Gafford, I think, was very effective, a lot more than Lively tonight, which is going to be interesting to see if they do trade Gafford because I feel like their team changed a lot once they got Gafford last year. Having him and Lively just split the minutes was really key for them last year. And I hope that if they do get into a play-in situation or playoff situation next year, they found a way to keep Gafford and Lively because with AD, that's a lethal 3 big rotation when everyone's going. Although I don't know if I'm AD, if I even want to be there anymore because of the fire Nico, the hating. Like it's not even there necessarily the Mavericks' fault. It's like if the Lakers had traded Kobe away, like if they came back, no matter who you got, you would be pissed and you'd say your GM fucked up. So of course they should be mad. But with AD, he's an emotional player, and just as a human being, you have to remember that it probably sucks to hear everyone say that the guy that you got in replacement is like an injury prone guy, glass, like doesn't feel good to be in that situation. So I would be interested to see if he ends up leaving or if Kyrie Irving helps things work out for him in Dallas. But it's not it's a bad situation in Dallas right now. They're going to need a whole offseason. They need to make a splash of a trade or something, or go to draft pick, get lucky, and really elevate this team for next season. I would move off of Clay if I could. And if you're the Lakers, if only you could trade Kleba back for Clay. So then you could put Dalton in a different trade. But honestly, I think Dalton's a higher level 3-point shooter now because of his legs. Clay's legs are just pretty much shot at this point. Like he only makes the shots where he's wide, stinking open, and gets his feet set. Any other moving shots are kind of off these days. So they'll have to. I honestly don't understand why they didn't keep Quentin Grimes. He could have been starting with this team right now and running point with Najee, as opposed to Clay. Clay's more of a bench player at this stage of his career. And you had Max Christie, so you can have one of them play the 3, Caleb play the 4, and Gafford the 5, and Dinwiddie the 1. So I do think the Mavericks are going to make changes in the offseason. They'll be in the play-in. Let's look at the standings. They're 10 right now, and the Suns already got eliminated. So it's the Mavericks 10 seed. Can they beat Sacramento? That will be very interesting. Luka had 6 of 9 free throws. Sorry, I was blocking the AB. He was 6 of 9. So he could have had 48 as well. So the Clippers have risen to the 4 seed. Wow, and they will rise further above Golden State if they beat the Rockets today. The Rockets sabotaged the Warriors today with the Clippers, with resting everyone against the Clippers. So the Clippers probably have a free win here, and the Clippers are 47-32. The Nuggets are 47-32. Just fired their coach, and the Warriors are 47-32. So, and the Warriors have lost the tiebreaker to the Nuggets and Clippers and Lakers. So, I think they are out of the 3 seed contention unless the Lakers lose out. And the Clippers and Nuggets. Yeah, I agree, AB. I 100% agree. The Nuggets, after firing their coach, it'll be interesting to see if they and GM. It'll be interesting to see if they go out and win right now. They are up 5 on Sac. They should win this game. Phoenix beating OKC because OKC is resting everyone. I don't think that will last long though. Booker's their only guy with 11 and 8 today. Chris Paul having a good game against the Warriors. Jimmy Butler also having a good game, 12-4 and 2 for Chris and 11 and 1 for Jimmy. Harden beating only up by 1 on Houston because you're getting a good Cam Whitmore game, 13 and 4. They didn't rest everyone, actually. They rested Sengun and Amen, Jabari, and that's pretty much it. So they do still have Jalen Green out there. Reed Shepard is starting and playing pretty well. 2 of 2 from 3, 8 points. Nice Reed Shepard game. And of course they're resting Brooks and Van Vliet, but Reed Shepard better. Reed Shepard better by far. Jock Landale's getting a good game too. They're resting Steven Adams as well. So I guess they're resting like 5 guys. The Rockets are very deep, man. They can rest guys and still go out there and beat the Clippers here. Absolutely. The Clippers are let's see what's up with them. No Norman Powell still. Shout out Patrick Baldwin Jr. Ran into that guy at Erewhon. Great dude. Don't ask me why I was there. One time only. 13 points, 4 assists from James. Nice. Zubats continues his hot streak. 8 points, 5 rebounds, fresh off a 2020 game last night. Kawhi, 5-2-1. Okay, I mean, the Clippers should win this game, but Houston just hit a 3. Houston is very deep. Houston is very, very deep. They can beat anybody when they're healthy. It's just when they they just need a little more experience from Amen, Jalen, and Sengun, but those guys have played together for a while, mainly Sengun and Jalen. Good Aaron Gordon game against Sack, of course, because the defense isn't very good. Russ 1 of 4, Strother 0 of 3, Watson 2 of 2, MPJ 4 of 8, Jokic 3 of 3. Quieter Jokic game because Brown, Gordon, and MPJ are all scoring really well. Interesting. All right. And then besides that, it's just bad teams playing bad teams. Chicago did beat Miami. That's a play-in race in the East. Giddey gave you like 26, 12, and 10, I think. Yeah, 28, 16, and 11. Never mind. That's even better. Vucevic, 20, 11, and 8. Almost a triple-double against Bam. Or I guess more Khalil Ware. And Mata, 17 and 4 against Bam. Very nice. Kobe White, 18 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 turnovers. Dalen Terry, 6 points. Tyler Hero with another 30 ball. Tyler Hero's balling. The Heat are a long-term issue. If I'm them, I look at maybe getting Paul George on the cheap. Kyle Anderson, Terry Rozier, and Haywood Highsmith, I think, gets you there. It's just a matter of, is Philly taking that? Probably not. But I would like to see Paul George and Hawkes together. But although they might trade Hawkes, I don't know if these rumors are correct. He got a DNP coach's decision tonight, and he's definitely better than some of these guys that played, especially Alec Burks. But his shot has been kind of broken this year. Wow, Miami really going for that pick. Cooper Flag would fit really well in Miami, but I don't think they're that close. But who knows? Maybe the league is like, yeah, no, they're the 10 seed, so they'll be in the play-in. They will be in the play-in. Yeah, Toronto is too far back. Yeah, they're in the play-in regardless. They just lost with their full team against the Bulls, who they'll face in the play-in. I assume the Bulls will beat them in the play-in too. But Spoelstra is special, so who knows? But an away game in Chicago, it'll be buzzing. It'll be absolutely buzzing. Atlanta will face Orlando. Yep. Yeah, the East is pretty much set. Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Pistons. You'll see Pacers, Bucks again. That'll be fun. Knicks, Pistons will be a great matchup. Some people, like Shaq, have the Pistons winning that matchup. Boston, Orlando, clearly Boston. And then Cleveland, Atlanta, clearly Cleveland. I honestly could see it being Cleveland, Chicago too. Chicago has these guys that can really just go crazy in a game. And then if the playoffs were to start today, which will probably give us a completely different indication in 2 days or 3 days, whenever the season ends, but it would be OKC, Minnesota, assuming Memphis beats Minnesota in the play-in. Honestly, I could see Minnesota winning that and being the 7. So I'm going to say OKC, Memphis, Houston, Minnesota, Lakers, Nuggets. No, Lakers, Warriors, which the league loved. Like, the league would absolutely love that. And Clippers, Nuggets. I honestly, as a Laker fan, would love to see the Clippers over anyone. And then the Timberwolves, but you can't see them anymore. I'm sorry, not the Timberwolves, the Grizzlies. You could see them. You definitely could see the Grizzlies. I meant the Grizzlies the whole time. The Timberwolves give me, they probably give you problems. Anthony Edwards is fantastic, but Luka has beat them. I think the Warriors would be the most exhausting series, and then Denver, and then OKC. I think those are always going to be the three most impactful teams in the West alongside the Lakers. No disrespect to Houston. I just think the Lakers match up with Houston better than those three teams. I think they match up with OKC a little better, but the Warriors play such good small ball that if Steph Curry is at all open in a situation, and then Jimmy and uh, Draymond and Kuminga are switching incredibly well on the big three, then you could be in trouble. But I still have faith in the talent and what Austin Reeves and LeBron have done against the Warriors before, so I will hold out hope until then. And also, Denver is always going to give you problems. They've been bad recently, 3-7 in their last 10. Fired Malone and Booth, which was a shocking move. But ultimately, if you followed what was going on in the past couple of years, if they didn't win in 2023, they might fire both of those guys then. Um, because of the team was constructed decently, but you're not winning without the expertise and unreal play from Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in the clutch. That two-man game took them all the way to a championship. So who knows what would have happened if they did not win a championship that year. Also, the Lakers would be on win 50 games for the first time in a really long time. It's been a while. It's been a lot of 44s, 46s, 48s. Because they were always in the play-in race. Last year, they were a decent seed, but they had Denver. They had Denver in the first round and lost 4-1. Lakers Warriors, man. That would do numbers in the first round in the NBA, but let's hope that we can see. Let's see here. Warriors are down 4. Clippers are up 6. Damn. That's annoying by Houston. Go win that game, Houston. Yeah, so if the Warriors lose, they'll fall to 7 and into the play-in because Memphis doesn't play today. But Memphis could easily just give it back tomorrow because they don't have the tiebreaker if they lose. Who's Memphis playing? Oh, Memphis is playing the Timberwolves, ironically enough. So that's a big game for the Timberwolves. They need that game. They should not have blown the game against the Bucks yesterday. That was subpar behavior by them. They should still be in the 6 seed or 7 seed right now. But who knows? That will be a great game to see. That will be a fantastic game tomorrow at 6:30 Pacific time. Any other seeding games that matter? Knicks, Pistons, no, just that game. Memphis, Minnesota tomorrow, guys. That's a big game. And then Lakers play the Rockets on Fridays at 7:30. That is huge. That is massive. That is an absolutely massive game. I might be going live from my friend's house on Friday, guys. That's crazy. Okay, big game Friday. We don't have much else to say. Shout out Luka, 45. Amazing performance. Go Lakers. Everybody get to that money, get to that bread. I will see you next time. Live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Everyone go subscribe at Ish_NBA on all platforms except for YouTube. YouTube is Ishan Ghosh 824. Follow on TikTok right now. Go like the last post that I posted on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.